Podcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good afternoon, everyone. I want to welcome you to this Nadex Town Hall. Real quick, I'd like to just do a audio and a video check. You should be seeing a screen that says Nadex Town Hall, 17 August 2018. Audio and video good. Awesome. We'll get going then. Again, welcome to this Nadex Town Hall. Really appreciate you joining us. I'm Dan Cook, the Director of Business Development here at Nadex. I recognize a lot of familiar names in the room. We've got a lot of people on today and a lot of great stuff to cover. We really feel it's very important to keep our members informed about what we're doing here at the exchange, and we want you to hear that information directly from the exchange. As such, we've got a great lineup today on some key things. We've always got quite a bit we're working on here, always a lot, but some of the key items that really impact you as our members and things that will hopefully be very helpful for you are some of the things here we've been working on. The platform status bar, revamped help section, new mobile app, which is in beta, as well as some future town hall meetings, because we really want to keep the communication flow going back and forth. I'll touch more on those in a little bit, but before we get too far along, quick risk disclosure. Trading on Nadex involves risk. Nadex is trading. We are an exchange. Whether you're trading forex, stock indices, commodities, cryptos, or economic events, when you put money into a market to trade live, there is a risk that you can lose that money. So everybody should understand that this trading involves risk. It should only be risk capital that you use, not grocery money. If you want to lose money trading, use money that should be allocated elsewhere. Trading involves risk. With that, let's get right into it. The first item today is the platform status indicator. I'm not sure if everyone has noticed this yet in demo and in our live environments. We think it's very important to provide a very stable trading environment. We take that very seriously. That said, it's not a perfect world. And in the event that there is an issue, we know it's imperative that we inform everyone who could be impacted as quickly as possible. And so on the platform in the upper right-hand corner, next to the clock, you'll now see a status icon. There are 3 different colors. Green is all good. No reported issues identified. Everything's good to go. If you see yellow, this could mean potentially degraded performance. If you see red, this could be something that's very critical to the performance. Now, it doesn't end there. The color coding is nice, but if you see the red circle there on the screen, if you click where it says fully operational, or if you see yellow with a message or red with a message, click on that icon and you'll be taken to the status page. You'll see all systems are operational or what it may be impacting. So is it impacting mobile apps? Is it impacting the website or account creation? You'll have that information so you may know how to proceed. Additionally, we'll be providing information. So when we're investigating, we'll say, for example, if nothing is happening, no incidents, but if there is, we'll let you know we're experiencing a technical issue in our demo environment, or if it's in our live environment, whatever the relative environment is, or both. We'll let you know we're working towards a resolution. We'll provide updates as soon as possible. Depending on the nature of the issue, this message will change to let you know how to proceed. Is it a good time to be in the market and placing trades? We'll let you know when we've identified it, and we'll let you know when it's resolved. We want to pass that information along as quickly as possible. Very important to us. Hopefully, in 99.99% of the cases, we always see the green, but in case there is an issue, that's a great way to take a look and see right away if there's something that could be impacting the performance. The next item is the help section revamp. We've had a help section on our platform for quite some time. If you're not familiar with it, or if you're new to the platform, the help section can be located in the upper right-hand corner. Now, up until just a few days ago, here's what that help section looked like. It was very text-heavy. Some sections were redundant. People didn't necessarily know where to go. And by the way, all of these enhancements that I'm talking about are really based on feedback. That's one term you're going to hear me say over and over today, is feedback. And I'm going to challenge everybody and show you where you can provide that feedback. But our previous help section, the feedback was it's not very helpful. It's very text heavy, redundant. A lot of the information that people were really looking for, particularly when they're new to the platform, just wasn't included in an easy to use format. So in the redesign, which is live now, on the left-hand side navigation, when you open up this box, the box will appear on your screen. On the left-hand side, you'll find information or a finder as far as what do I want to know how to? Do I want to know how to find markets? Do I want to know how to open charts? When you select from that menu, on the right-hand side, you'll see the topic that you selected, as well as a video illustrating exactly how you take these steps. So if you want to know how to open charts in the platform, click on the play button. A quick video tutorial will take you and show you in a couple of minutes how to open those charts. Whether it be a fund and withdraw, market limit orders, how to close a trade, all of that information is there. If you need to contact us, we've got our contact details. Perhaps you want to know what the hours and holiday schedule is. What are the fees? All of that information can be found there. Now, we've come a long way. This is, from the feedback we received, a much better version, but we still have a couple of more enhancements to make with regard to this. Currently, if you want to watch the video full screen, you'll see just above the How to Open Charts video, Watch Full Screen Video. This will open up a new browser page, and you'll be able to view that in full screen. What we're working on customizing in the next enhancements will basically allow you to open this box in full screen directly from the platform, as well as there'll be a functionality where you can pop this box off and move it if you're using multiple monitors so that you can watch the video and follow right along in your Nadex account, particularly when you're using the demo account. If you're new to the platform, you'll be able to move it over to another monitor, take the actions directly as you're seeing them on the video. So very exciting from that perspective. Hopefully you find it very helpful. Underneath the full contact details, we're also going to be adding feedback with regard to these videos and other enhancements you'd like to be seeing on the platform. So this is the new help section. And again, we hope you find it very helpful. Oftentimes when you hop into a new platform, it's not the easiest to know where to navigate. This should make strides in helping you to have a much better experience with the platform. The key point that I want to spend most of the time on today is our new Nadex beta app. I know quite a few of you have seen this already. In case you haven't, this is the Nadex beta app. And what it is, it's basically built on what's called PWA or progressive web app technology. This is the future of how mobile apps will be created. It's really great technology, and it offers huge benefits over traditional apps. Most of us are familiar with what are called native apps. These are apps that are designed specifically either for, say, iPhone or Android, and they can only be obtained through either the App Store or Google Play. So they're very specific to each operating system. With progressive web app technology, which is what Nadex Beta is built on, you're able to access it one time through the browser, and I'm going to show you step by step how you can add it to your home screen, but you can access it one time through the browser. In native apps, they were very constrictive in design. It was difficult to design across multiple types, Android and iPhone, and have a consistent experience across all mobile devices. Many of the items that were required to be put in the Play Store were much more of what's called a hard code. They don't allow much flexibility when you want to add enhancements. It's much more difficult to take feedback, to implement it in a timely manner, and to create the experience that our users want. With the progressive web app technology, we'll be able to roll out those enhancements much faster. We've seen that already with all of the feedback we've received in the beta testing, how quickly these changes can be made. Additionally, it's a consistent experience whether you're using iPhone or whether you're using an Android type phone. Additionally, with traditional apps, you had to update to a new version. If there was a new feature released, maybe it was a really cool feature that you'd want, but you didn't know it existed because you hadn't updated that app. With PWA technology, you don't have to worry about that anymore. As we add new functionality to this type of app, it will allow you to not have to worry about anything. You'll have the latest, greatest. Additionally, this technology is much quicker. It's actually lighter on your phone. It's more responsive and faster. So there's great user benefit to this as well. You get all of the enhancements as soon as they're rolled out again, no updates, and you get a much more responsive and faster experience. So one of the questions that's come up, and I really wanted to address just straightforward as to the why. Why are we doing the new beta app? As you may have heard, unregulated binary bucket shops really forced the hands of tech giants Apple and Google to ban binary option trading apps. We agree with their intent to really weed out the bad apples. There were plenty of those, and so we agree with that intent, but unfortunately, we also fell victim to the current decisions. Against our best efforts, we were forced to remove our binary options from our iOS and Android apps in October and May, respectively, even though we're a US-based CFTC-regulated exchange. Now, this was a temporary setback. Many of you may be using actually just the Spreads-only app for iPhone or for Android. But this temporary setback, and this happens often in life, right? We face a hurdle, we're offered up a challenge, how do we respond? As many times happen, this is in the long run going to be very beneficial moving forward, and not even in the long run, in the very near-term future. This is going to be very beneficial for everyone involved, both from a development standpoint here internally, from our user standpoint, having all the benefits that were previously mentioned. And so this temporary setback is actually a positive. So what should you do? First of all, keep your existing app. If you're using the fully functional binary option spreads app, keep using that for now. I do encourage you, though, to follow along with me on the next few slides as we take a look at the Nadex beta app and how you can access that, how you can add it to your home screen, and some of the functionality involved. So let's take a look. And before we begin, I want to say one of the things that I'm very proud of, and it's been great, and I really appreciate all the feedback. We have great developers, and we have some great ideas here, but the best ideas come from our users, from our members. And again, I'm going to say feedback, 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 and I'm going to challenge everybody. I'm going to show you right on the PWA, the beta app, where you can provide that feedback, because it's so crucial. I'm very proud that every aspect of this app that you're going to see, from color palette to functionality, has been based on feedback from our members who are part of the beta testing, and we still want that feedback to keep coming. So when you're accessing the Nadex beta app, you'll do so from your browser on your mobile phone. So you'll simply go to nadex.com, whether you're using an Android or an iPhone. So you may see one of two screens. You may see the traditional screen that says open an account, open a demo, or the login in the upper right, or you may even see a message that says join the beta. Some of you I know, and I'm illustrating both of these, because you may have clicked skip this page the next time. So if you see join the beta, simply click join the beta, and it will take you to the login screen. If you don't see that splash screen, click login in the upper right, and you'll be taken to the login screen, which you see on the far right. So very simple to access. What you want to do next is set this as an icon to your home screen. This is a very simple process. What this will do is actually make it feel like an app on your phone. You'll never have to enter the URL again. You'll simply be able to click a button. So if you're on Android, you'll see a splash screen to save a shortcut. The three dots in the Android, I'm sure as users we're all familiar with those on the Android side. You'll click that from the drop-down menu, select Add to Home Screen. It's that simple. On the iPhone, the experience is a little bit different, but also equally simple. On the iPhone, when you see the splash screen, it'll say tap to add to home screen. And I believe in iPhone, they call that the share button. From there, you'll see a menu. You'll look for the plus screen. You may have to scroll a little bit to the right if it's not in the center, but look to the plus screen. So when you add that to the home screen, it's going to appear in your apps with this logo. It's going to say Nadex Beta, and it won't always be beta. We've got a lot of cool features coming up very soon, but right now you'll see the thing that says Nadex Beta. So the next time you want to access it, don't worry about opening your browser. You simply click where it says Nadex Beta, and you'll be taken into the platform login page. Once in the beta app, you'll be taken to the home screen. This will display your account balance, any running profit and loss you may have from open positions, as well as the most popular daily binary options. If you want to find markets to trade, very simple. At the bottom of the screen, click on markets. From there, you can choose between indices, forex, commodities, 5-minute and 20-minute on the binary side. If you prefer to trade spreads, at the top, you simply click on spreads. If you choose, say, for example, forex, and move to Euro USD, you'll see a menu in Euro USD of the expiration timeframes. This was also another functionality enhancement provided by feedback from our members. Previously, on the initial launch, you went into Forex, chose Euro USD, and there was just a list. It was a list with the most recent expiration first, and you'd have to scroll all the way through. Again, received the feedback, we're able to update it very quickly, provide a much better trading experience. So now when you click on indices, so say you select US 500, you'll be able to see all of the expirations available and choose which expiration you like. In this case, we selected Euro USD. If you look at the left-hand panel, we've got the daily 3 p.m. expiration. That's the one we chose. Another functionality enhancement, which was provided through the testing and the feedback, was that when you originally went into Euro USD at that expiration, you'd see the top strikes first. Well, those may not be the most interesting. Those may not even be traded depending on how many strikes there are. So a suggestion came, it would be great if when you went into that contract, you saw the most relevant strikes. And so now it will automatically center into what the most relevant strikes are based on the midpoint. So again, just another step to functionality. And while we've come a long way in a very short period of time, I'm going to say it again, we need your feedback. You're the users. You have to help us out with this stuff. To monitor our positions, for example, if we placed a trade on the Euro USD, simply click on Monitor. This will offer a menu at the top. You can check your open positions. If you choose Orders, that will be all of your working orders in the platform. If you choose History, that will show you the recent history of the transactions you've performed. All of these designs and feedback were put together to create the most minimal amount of steps necessary to get to the most relevant information. Whether it's finding markets, whether it's finding a specific contract to trade, what your positions are doing, that's how this was designed, in the fewest steps possible. Next is the Account tab. And this one I'm really going to stress, and I'm going to talk a little bit about some of the updates that we have in development for this app, because we've got a lot of things in the project list, but some that we've recognized as extremely critical to the user experience. Before I talk about what those are, so from this Account tab, you'll be able to see what's new, what features we've just added. Check in there. As I said, you don't have to update this app. It will automatically update, so you can check what's new and see if there's any cool new features or functionality that we've added that you may be missing out on. There's also a tab for Coming Soon. The Coming Soon will be a list of, probably the short list of the items that we're working on. Again, we have multiple items that we're working on at any given one time. So this will be the Coming Soon. Here's what you can expect from us. And I'll touch on a couple of those key ones in just a second. Yep, I told you the theme for today would be feedback, and it is. Here's where you submit the feedback. Click on Submit Feedback, a box opens up. Let us know if there's something you'd like to see from a functionality perspective. Maybe it's a tool you'd like to see. Submit that feedback. We want to know, whether it be functionality, maybe it's design user experience. Again, submit that feedback. It's taken very seriously, and this is how we continue to improve the offering that we have in our apps. The feedback that we've already received has been great, and actually I see quite a few comments right now in the question box as far as how different it is between the old experience and how much of a more efficient, more responsive experience it is, and that makes me happy because that's our goal. And while I can say we can be happy, we can never be satisfied. We always need to continue to improve, and that's where you come in. So I'm going to challenge everybody today. Go to nadex.com, go into the beta, log in, save it to your home screen. Look around it. If you haven't used it before, start out in demo. take a look around, place some trades. Let us know what you think. It's so important for all of us, from a development perspective, as well as for the user experience moving forward. This is really your chance to shape the trading experience at Nadex. The last one, to go back to my original statement in the beginning, we find it very important. And we've got literally, the response to this has been great. We've got hundreds of people on today. So I know I won't be able to get to all the questions. What we're going to do, and as questions are asked, I will have a record of them after. And so we'll be able to see what we can answer and reach out to you directly. But we're going to have regular town hall meetings moving forward. They're going to be a bit different than this one. This one was really me providing an update to you as our members. I wanted to get some of the key developments out there, let you know what we're working on. Oh, and I think on the beta app, I may have skipped over something here. Let me hop back real quick. A couple of key items coming up. Deposits and withdrawals directly from the app. That was one of the more requested features. Those will be ready in about 2 weeks. That's what we expect, about 2 weeks for deposits and withdrawals. And the overwhelming feedback we've received to date is the ability to have charts in the Nadex beta app. That will follow soon after the ability for deposits and withdrawals in the app. We're very excited about that. I'm not going to give you a specific time frame. We have an obligation, obviously, to thoroughly test everything, but it is coming soon and should follow very soon after the ability for deposits and withdrawals. So let's get back to the regular town hall meetings, and apologies, I wanted to share that important update. It was probably the most important update from feedback, and I almost skipped right over it. So regular town hall meetings, and these are going to be structured a little bit differently than this one, as I mentioned. These are going to be bi-weekly meetings, so one meeting every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks, we're going to have a meeting where we open the dialogue with you, all of our members. I'm going to provide a brief update on Nadex, and again, since this is every 2 weeks, it probably will be very brief. Additionally, we're going to talk briefly about some core trading concepts. This is something I'm very passionate about, and this also came from feedback. People want to know things about risk management. My background is about 20 years in the markets, both as a trader, on the operations side, and I've worked with hundreds, if not thousands, of people over the years. So we want to talk about some core trading concepts. Should be some useful information. If not, maybe we'll have some funny stories to share as well, just about trading in general. The most important part, and where we really want to spend the majority of the time in these town hall meetings coming up, is on questions and answers and feedback from you. I see some great feedback here, and I'll try to take a couple of questions. We've got quite a queue lined up here as well, but I'll try to answer a few of those questions today in the short time that we have. So questions and answers. This is going to be the most important part of the town hall meetings moving forward. You're going to be able to address your questions directly to me, perhaps another representative of the exchange, and have that two-way dialogue and information flow, which we find is critical. The next meeting is going to be in a couple weeks on August 30th. The time is yet to be determined. Prior to then, I don't have it yet, but prior to then, I will have an email address that will go out it'll go out with the meeting invite, where you can ask your questions, provide topics you want to hear about from the exchange prior to the meeting, so we can get an agenda type of thing going. Again, we're going to focus on the live question and answer sessions, but we want to hear from you what's important to you. What do we need to address? So with that, I want to thank everybody for joining us today. Again, I can take a few of the questions here. We've got a lot of people on this webinar. I will be going through them after the webinar to see what we can address and get back to you via email, maybe through our customer service group. Just one quick comment from Chris. I like the beta app. And let's see, as far as setting, yes, as far as setting the default order ticket, you can set default to limit or market order. And what I'll do actually for the next town hall, because I think it looks like we've got a lot of questions on functionality, more questions on how you do things. I don't have the technology right now to plug in my phone to actually do that, but I'm going to take these, and what I'll do is I'll create a walkthrough based on these comments that we're seeing about the app and questions regarding that. I actually have a general question here as far as what's the difference between a market order and a limit order? So basically, a market order, and by the way, these are going to be the types of questions. They don't have to be just Nadex specific, but in the town halls moving forward, if it's general trading questions, if we don't know the answer, we'll be honest and we'll tell you we don't know the answer. We don't know what those questions are going to be, but if we do, happy to share that with you. So a market order at Nadex is really what's called a market with protection order. What this allows you to do, the protection is a range that you can set. Say, for example, you want to be filled right away. You want to do a market order, but these markets move pretty fast, particularly if you're trading a binary very close to expiration. Right? Maybe you're trying to buy a binary at 50, and you're willing to get filled as high as 60, but not beyond that. So what you do is you'd set up your protection. Again, we'll say it's 10 points. If you place your market order when the market's at 50 and all of a sudden there's a sudden move, the worst place you'll get filled is 60. If not, the order will be canceled if the market's moving on. But it's basically a quick way to get into the market. Whereas a limit order may or may not be filled immediately. If it's right on the price and price hasn't moved and there's size there on the bid offer, it'll be filled. But in some cases, people will put limit orders out there to take profit. And so this is what's called a working order or a limit order. When you put in a limit order, say you put in a limit order for 50, the worst filled you can get is 50. Now, there's no guarantee that it'll be filled, right? It may be a working order, but the worst case scenario is you get filled at 50 or you don't get filled at all. And that's the difference between a market and a limit order. Let's just see here. We've got a couple more minutes left. Let's see. Oh, wow, we've got a stack here. You know what, Jack? Jack asked a great question as far as on the web-based, as far as can the most relevant strike be used on the computer? You know what, Jack? That's something I'll make note of. That's great feedback. I'm not sure what the development is on that, but something we can pursue an answer on, and hopefully you can join us on the next. But see, these are the types of things that we look to enhance, and that's great feedback. We can take a look at it. We can't ever guarantee that we can do everything everybody wants, but we certainly do our best to create the best experience possible. But again, the only way we can do that is through feedback from our members. And we've got another question from a different Jack about one-click trading. That's something not currently available. The market order is as close, I guess, as it comes to one-click trading. But that's great feedback and something, again, we can take a look at. Oh, it looks like actually Jordan has said he's using the beta on his laptop and not on his phone. So it is accessible there, but it was really designed for the phone. Alan asks if Nadex can be traded using the Ninja Trader platform. At this point, Alan, the answer to that is no. With Nadex, and really what makes us unique is we don't have brokers. We are the exchange, and we're the exchange that's designed for the individual trader. Fair level playing field, and can come directly to the exchange, trade through the web or the mobile platforms, and hopefully, as you've seen, our mobile beta app has come a long way very quickly. At this point, you can't trade through the Ninja Trader platform, but the benefit is you can actually access the exchange directly through our platforms. And it looks like we're running just a couple minutes. Again, we've got a whole stack in the queue here. So what I'll do is after this webinar, I'll be going through them, seeing what responses we can get back to you as quickly as possible. Again, I want to thank everybody for joining us today. It really makes me very happy when I see this level of participation from all of our members. It's important to us that you be engaged. It's important to us that you feel that you have a way to communicate with us, and that's what we're trying to provide here. But really want to thank everybody for joining us. Really appreciate it and hope you have a very great weekend all. And keep that feedback coming. Thanks, everyone.